Joe Giglio for NJ Sports Now on this Thursday, March the 12th. NFL free agency has just been a bonanza here in the Philadelphia Eagles, specifically head coach Chip Kelly and everything he's trying to do, whatever that is, in Philadelphia has been the story of the sport. Yesterday, impromptu, out of nowhere, spoke to the media. Kelly, not one to speak when he's not required to, went up to the podium for about 25 minutes, explained to an extent what the Eagles have been doing here in trading for Sam Bradford, trading away Nick Foles, and the moves, including trading away LaShawn McCoy. Now all the rumors about DeMarco Murray, about the Eagles and where they might be going, signing a running back, even though yesterday morning we heard the news they were coming to an agreement with former Chargers running back Ryan Matthews. If you take a step back and listen to Chip Kelly yesterday, and over 60% of voters on NJ.com didn't believe Kelly was entirely truthful in all that he tried to spew to fans and the media on Wednesday afternoon. You take a step back from Kelly's press conference. You think about the initial pursuit, the initial rumors of going after Devin McCourty and Jason Worlds and Byron Maxwell, who did land and did sign in Philadelphia. And then, of course, Frank Gore. That report came out over the weekend. They were going to bring in Gore, maybe even Andre Johnson, the veteran receiver from the Texans. Those guys gone. They're to Indianapolis. And then Ryan Matthews. And now maybe DeMarco Murray, paying a running back, which when Chip Kelly was talking on Wednesday and giving his reasons for jettisoning LaShawn McCoy, a back that has been the greatest back in terms of yardage in the history of the Eagles, he talked about salary cap numbers and math and saying this isn't baseball. You have to allocate certain numbers to certain positions and, tried to make the case that it just not was worth paying top back money to a guy like McCoy because they have other areas to fill. They were able to acquire Kiko Alonso in that deal and, of course, add to their linebacking core. And it made sense on the surface. But then you have the reports about going after Murray. And if you do keep Ryan Matthews and Murray, you're going to be paying the running back situation, the running back depth chart, just as much probably as you would if you had kept LaShawn McCoy. And as you think about all this and the way that the Eagles have gone from one thing to the next and Kelly trying to dispel all the Marcus Mariota rumors, which I do believe credible reporters had credible information over the past couple months about the Eagles gauging interest around the league. From Foles to Bradford to no Mariota to McCoy to Matthews to Gore to now all these rumors about DeMarco Murray. It's pretty clear to me that Chip Kelly in his first runaround, his first go-around as, personnel lead, the guy in charge of personnel along with being the head coach of the football team, it's pretty clear to me Chip Kelly is making this up as he goes along. And look, that might not turn out to be the worst thing in the world for the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, you would like, those people in charge of putting together a 53-man roster to have a concrete plan, plan A, then B, then C, and in free agency you have to quickly change your mind, move from different plan to different plan. Same thing in the NFL draft. We'll see how Chip does now with final say in the NFL draft coming up late April, early May. But in free agency here and the way the Eagles have operated over the last 8 to 10 days, I feel like Chip Kelly's making this up as he goes along. And if it works out, if Bradford does turn his career around, like Alex Smith did, after being the number 1 overall pick, he became a very good quarterback. He referenced Drew Brees yesterday, a guy that was injured but had all that pedigree and became a star. If Bradford's the next one of those guys, even more to the Brees than the Alex Smith, then you know what? Fine. Make it up as you go along. If DeMarco Murray does land here in Philadelphia and becomes, a back-to-back offensive player of the year, backing up last year's remarkable run with the Cowboys, great. Keep making it up as you go along. But usually in sports history, when executives don't have concrete plans, they try to make it up as they go along. And as Chip Kelly said yesterday, fit the pieces of the puzzle together, you start to have pieces of the puzzle that don't fit together. And you start to have one overlapping the other, and you have to bend one to fit it in. And that's the way it feels like the Eagles, under Chip Kelly in a front office role, are operating this offseason. I'm Joe Giglio for NJ Sports Now.